We are back in the Snarf Talk studio.
We are back in the Snarf Talk studio after a couple-week break. The holiday season is
Christmas time
basically
was
over.
Here.
Yeah. I mean, Christmas is over, but we still got New Year's coming up.
New Year's is schmoo years.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, it's nothing
wow, that popped right up.
It's nothing that I really look for. Do you look like...
I've never been a New Year's person. I've never been a big fan of New Year's. It's fine.
It's not that I'm not a big fan of it.
It's a party with a hangover.
Yeah, it really is. It's man, it's a time that you have a party that is no different than any other party, and the next day you regret like everything you've done the night before.
Vic says he can't hear us. Is that a you problem or is that an us problem? Because I believe everything should be working.
Yeah, I feel like we should be pretty good. I don't know. I can pull it up on the old phone and see if I can hear us.
Dirk, can you hear us? I'll just pull it up right here.
I don't know. I can
definitely hear it.
Yeah, we can hear it on our computer.
Yeah.
Come on, Vic.
Come on, Vic. Learn how to use a computadora.
Yeah, I just heard it on mine.
Yeah.
We seem good.
But yeah, New Year's. Yeah, I it's fine. The last several years we've been doing like, it's too hard to find a babysitter, right? So we'll just go somewhere with the kids, and that kind of changes the dynamic of New Year's.
Yeah, it does. A lot.
Sometimes it's better because you don't get as soused.
Soused. That's what I was going to say. A little soused up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you got to stay away from that.
Last year, I believe we went. Where did we go last year?
Kilmer's.
No. Last year we
wasn't it? Or no, that was Dan's birthday.
Last year we went. We didn't do anything with a group of people. We went. We brought the kids somewhere. We went somewhere.
Okay.
And we came back, and on the way back, we just stopped at Jewel and got like a bunch of frozen appetizers and sparkling grape juice and stuff. And we got home at like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Or 8 o'clock, whatever it was, maybe earlier. We made all these appetizers. We set them out. We ate them. And about 10 o'clock comes around, and me and Marty are like, I'm really tired.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
So we've looked on YouTube and found like a fake ball drop.
And showed the kids?
Yeah, and showed it to the kids, and everybody went to bed, and it was wonderful.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good. My kids don't care about the ball drop or like when the actual New Year happens. They never have. We've explained it to them. Yeah, year's over. The ball's going to drop. It's going to be after midnight. Not a single one of them has ever cared or wanted to stay up to see it. So I don't know what we did last year either. I know we were at home. I don't think we did much. The last couple years, I've been to bed before New Year's.
Yeah.
At least the last 2 years, I know for sure.
Well, anyway, yeah, it should be fun this year. Christmas was...
This is the last episode of Snarf Talk in 2021.
And it is last before our 150th.
Yes, and it is the last before the 150th. So the 150th will be recorded next week, and that'll be the first of the new year.
The first of a new season, too.
Yes, new season.
New season of Snarf.
No, none of this is right. We're recording this in 2021, but it technically won't be released until Monday, the 3rd.
Okay, we'll just release it tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I will. That's a good idea. I think I'll do that.
But anyway, did you have a fun Christmas? I mean, we kind of had a little bit of a break just because of all the holidays. So we planned on doing our 150th right before Christmas.
We did. It should have been.
Oh, well, we're going to do it right after New Year's.
Yeah.
I mean,
we run this.
It'll be cool, but we're going to change up some of our plans for that. So we'll come up with new ideas. We'll come up with them tonight, maybe.
We're still going to have a cake.
I tried to get a cake. They're like, it's a month out for a cake order.
What?
Yeah, we're going to get a cake.
Then we'll get a cake from Walmart.
Don't
worry. I don't care what it is.
So what did you do for Christmas? What was your Christmas
Man.
festivities?
We did... There's so many things. So my sister flew in from Wyoming. She stayed with us for like 2 weeks. They were in and out of the house. They went to Indiana and came back to see my brother-in-law's family. But we had a house full of like 9 people for a solid like 8 days. And that was a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to do. But so the kids were loving it. We're busy all the time doing stuff. we had my Christmas. When was that? On a Saturday, right? When was actual Christmas?
Saturday.
Okay, no, we had it on Friday. So Christmas Eve, my family came over to my house. We had Christmas there. So my brother, my brother's family brought 11 on his own. We had 9 already in the house. And then my aunt and uncle came, my cousin and his family. We had like 26 people in my house on Christmas Eve. And I cooked a prime rib and a ham. And I was so worked up.
Why?
Oh, man, I just wanted to make sure the prime rib was good.
I mean, it's hard to mess up prime rib.
It is. You're right.
It's a fatty meat.
But I wanted it to be like the best thing you've ever eaten in your life.
Yeah.
And I was so worked up over it
Was it?
day long.
Was it?
It was.
Oh, well, there you go.
Everybody said it. Like, and it was the most joyous occasion once it was done. And I like cut into it. So I start slicing it in front of everyone. Everyone's there, ready to eat. The ham's done.
Judging you, watching you.
Yes. As I'm slicing prime rib, cutting it, and
because this is
it's coming out beautifully.
I'm a man moment.
Right.
I'm the man of the house.
It is. It's like
I'm hosting this.
Correct. You're in my house. I'm hosting it. I told everybody about this prime rib. Beef is not cheap nowadays.
No. But it's still what's for dinner.
That night, it was. And so I'm slicing all this meat, putting it on plates and like on a tray and whatnot. And my sister doesn't really like beef that much. She hates steak. She won't eat steak. And my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, same thing. Like, really doesn't eat steak that much, doesn't really care for it. And all of them were like, that was like the best meat I've ever had. It was so good. And they all came back. It was all gone. Wonderful.
Nice.
It made me so happy. It did. I was so relieved. Like, when it came out, I looked at Amy and I was like, it's like, all right, now I can have fun.
Hosting holidays is so stressful.
It was. It felt like that this year, but it ended up being really, really good. Then we went to Amy's family.
Dirk says your sister and him can't be friends.
That's the way I feel, Dirk. I've always judged her for that. Like, my sister's name's Katie. I was like, Katie, come on. I've made steak so many times for her, and she's always been like, it's too chewy.
Too chewy.
It's chewy. It's not chewy at all. Like, I've always felt like it's been pretty good. Nope, she won't eat it. Doesn't like it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's why I was very surprised. And it was very high praise of a person that has poor judgment.
Is that high praise? I don't, because they don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Now that I say that, you're right. It was at the time.
Okay.
At the time, I felt like it was high praise, and I enjoyed it. Then we went to Amy's brother's house the next day. Or no, we went on Sunday. The day after Christmas is when we went to Amy's parents' house, or brother's house. Had Christmas there, whole family over. Again, wonderful. David redid his basement. It's great to hang out in. Had a really good time. Like, all in all,
nice.
Perfect holiday.
Nice. Yeah, we did the whole similar. We didn't host anything at our house this year. We went to Marley's cousin's, or Alex's house on New Year's Eve.
Oh, you did?
For Christmas on New Year's Eve, and then
you didn't have Christmas on New Year's Eve because that's tomorrow.
Or Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And then Christmas at my mom's, and then the day after at my mom's with all my siblings were in town. No, it was a great time. Was there anything? Did you get anything cool? Like, do you do adult presents?
Not really. We don't.
This year we did a white elephant. Like, all the adults in the family did like a $25 white elephant gift.
Oh, okay.
So that was pretty cool. That was pretty fun.
I think we should start that in my family, but we really don't.
Everybody got like really good gifts. Nobody even traded because everybody's like, I'm happy with what I got.
Yeah, that's good.
So that was really cool. My mom did a really cool thing where she took like a ton of family heirlooms that she's kind of wanting to unload anyway, and she wrapped them up, and we did like a whole family white elephant with the kids and everything, but they were like 200-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
Family heirlooms, like tins or kitchen utensils.
Yeah.
Really old
military
stuff.
Rations.
So that was really cool. I got a set of butcher's knives that are hundreds of years old.
Really?
Carving knives.
Yeah.
Probably not hundreds of years old, but they're 100 years old.
You know, that was my one complaint about Christmas is I don't have a really good carving knife.
Yeah.
I want one.
I bought a really good one last year or 2 years ago on Black Friday. And I haven't even taken it out of the case.
What?
I forgot about it.
Why?
I stowed it in the back of a cabinet and I forgot it was there. It was like an old Japanese one with a case and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
No, it was cool. I got some stuff. We do gifts generally.
Yeah.
Me and Marley.
Oh yeah, Amy and I do, and I got Amy's been wanting an Apple Watch for a long time, so I got Amy an Apple Watch. Had a big scare, thought we lost it for a day, basically.
How do you lose it?
I don't know. She had it on. When was it? Tuesday night. She had it on her wrist on the couch. Everybody was in the living room. We were all talking, whatnot. Wednesday morning, we all get up. She's like, "Where's my Apple Watch?" She's looking at it. She thought she put it on the charger. Wasn't on the charger. And then we go to the whole Find My Phone app thing.
Right.
And it had it out in the yard, like on the other side of my LP tank over by a tree.
Yeah, those aren't accurate, though.
So we're walking around. I was like, how could it possibly be over here? This can't be right. But we were looking because it was like, this is the only thing we have to go off of. We were playing the sound constantly, trying to hear it. It wasn't playing the sound. So you couldn't hear anything. So we looked the entire day of Tuesday. And then on Wednesday morning, woke up, still looking for it. And it ended up being under a chair. The rocking chair in our living room was literally underneath there. How it got there, I have no idea. I was worried that our dog grabbed it and carried it outside. And that's why it was showing its location outside. But Wednesday morning, I went and looked on the Find My Phone app again, and it was showing it in the house. Like I was standing above it in the middle of the living room. I was like, it has to be in the house.
Right.
And Amy thought the same thing. She's like, I didn't go anywhere. There's no way it could have been outside. We found it, but there was a real short time there where she had it for like 3 days, and we already thought it was gone and lost. And I was looking up my insurance plan and like figuring out what the replacement was going to be.
Yeah.
But that was fine. But she loves it.
Apple
Watch.
I got some stuff for the podcast, so that's pretty exciting. Did? Yeah. Marley got me this poster, which is it's a 100 movies poster, but they're scratch off. They're 100 movie classics, so like classic movies.
And you got to watch them?
You're supposed to scratch them off and then watch it.
Yeah.
But and it actually has the name of the movies, so you're supposed to scratch it off when you've watched it.
Okay.
So she thought it'd be cool to do on the podcast. So what she's going to do is black out the names of the movies. So we're going to scratch them off so we don't know what's behind it. It's going to have a movie, like for an example, like it has Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about Pulp Fiction.
Genius.
And if we haven't,
that is a genius.
And if
idea.
we haven't seen the movie, then we have to go watch the movie and come back the next week and talk about it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is a phenomenal idea.
Yeah, and then my mother-in-law got me like 10 different hot sauces.
Ooh,
so we can review those.
Love a good hot sauce.
So
like a how hot?
I think varying degrees.
Oh,
all the way from mild to ghost pepper
to Carolina Reaper.
I said ghost pepper.
Yeah, ghost pepper,
not ghost pepper.
Oh, like all one word.
I don't know why
ghost
I said
pepper.
It like that.
Could you say ghost pepper?
What about your kids? They get anything cool? Like, what was their number one favorite gift?
Wait, hang on. So Nolan said probe thermometer, Jerry. One of the best investments I've ever made. Yes. So I had one in the whole time. Like I put a thermometer in the whole time. I had it. It's wired. It's not a wireless type, but it is wired. So I saw the degrees the entire time. I just got so worried on my time frame. Like you can look it up as much as you want on how long it takes per pound of meat to cook.
Right.
But I always find it off. It's always off.
Yeah. It's
every
off. Usually
single
it takes
time.
a lot longer than
it's usually always longer. So I wanted to make sure it was going to be done at the right time. And that's what I was most worried about. I wasn't really worried about, I knew the temperature was going to be right. I just didn't know when that was going to happen.
Right.
So I started it earlier. It took about 2 hours and 20 minutes total because it was 8 pounds. So it took about 2 hours and 20
It's about
minutes.
the size of a human head.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry Maguire told us this.
Yep.
Or the kid on Jerry
kid,
Maguire
yeah.
that everyone has said I looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so 2 hours and 20 minutes, it was done. 126 degrees. Called her good. Pulled it out, let it rest for another like 20 minutes, and it was perfect timing. Everything worked out like literally to plan. And that's why I was like, as soon as it worked out to plan, everything just like melted away.
And then
It's
just
like,
retire. Never again.
I just sat there like Titanic, you know, with my arms out, the breeze blowing in my.
Okay, sorry
Yeah,
about that.
it was wonderful. So the boys, nothing like super spectacular. They all got drones, relatively good drones. They're all the same because I got a 3-pack for all 3 of the boys, and you can program them to where they fly. They'll hover on their own, and then you can control them. Like you don't have to,
Right.
you know. But it's a real drone. They're pretty good size. They're probably 6 inches across, 6 inches wide, something like that. And they're really fun. But as soon as I took it outside, I gave Graham his. He can't control it yet,
Right.
at all. But I gave it to him outside, and I thought we would keep it around in the area at least. Nope, flew it directly in the field south of us, and it got out of range and dumped in the field. And then me and my brother-in-law spent about 30 minutes walking around in the field looking for it.
Did you find it?
Yeah, we got it back.
Oh.
So it was fine. I mean, I watched it dump itself into the field when it got out of range, but still, it was, 500 feet away from me.
Right.
So the depth perception isn't very good. So it took a little bit, but those are pretty cool. Grady got the newest Switch because during the summertime, he decided to wash his Switch underwater.
Yeah, it was dirty.
Yep. It got really sticky, he said. So he put it under the faucet, washed it, ruined it. And we gave him the option, like, Mom and Dad will buy you one at Christmas, or you can buy one now with your own money. And he said, oh, no, I'll wait till Christmas. It happened,
Yeah.
But he was able to get one of the newest Switches. It's white, which I thought was neat. Like, it's got, like, the controllers are white, and it's bigger.
Yeah, I know they're a little bigger.
Yeah,
That's basically the only difference. They're a little bigger with a little longer battery life.
yeah, it is. It's, I wouldn't say a little, but it's not a lot, but it is, like, you can tell.
Well, it
It's
depends if
bigger
you
than
had
the
the
other one.
original Switch or like the Switch Gen 2, because this one's like the Switch Gen 3. And the second one is way better than the first one. Like the 2000 to 2019 version is better than there's like a 2018 version. There's multiple versions.
Grant would have the 2019 version.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, for sure.
and then Grady now has the newest one, but it's nice. He was super psyched about that. I got Grant a 12-foot by 6-foot soccer net, so we're gonna set that up in the yard.
Nice.
We're gonna have a soccer goal every time you walk or drive by my house. You're gonna see a giant soccer goal in my yard.
There you go.
He was pretty pumped about that, but the problem was it came in like a blank cardboard box. So there's this huge cardboard box on Christmas morning. It was relatively narrow, but it was really tall because it's a 12-foot net. And he's like, "Oh, like holy cow, that's mine! Like this is mine." And he unwraps it, has no freaking clue what it is. And I was like, "It's a soccer goal. Santa brought us a soccer goal."
Yeah.
How are your kids with Santa? Oh no.
No, I mean, I don't know what you mean, but
I don't know either.
they talk. They
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. He is great. He's a great guy, right?
Yeah.
He is great. Yep. He brought a soccer goal
Yeah.
for Grant, but it didn't have any markings on it, so we didn't
Know what it was.
know what it was. It was stamped on the side, but Grant didn't realize like the stamping on the side told you the dimensions and like what it was.
Right.
He just saw this blank box and was like, "Great, blank box."
Yeah. No, we had a lot of stuff like that too. Cash was really excited. We gave him a BB gun,
Yeah.
so he has been loving that, and he's getting really good at it. David says, "Giant soccer goal in your yard and a more giant patch of long grass because you will be too lazy to mow it when the soccer goal is
No,
there."
no. I won't actually. I have a trampoline in my backyard right now, and I move it every single time I mow.
Yeah.
Every time I mow, I move the
That's pretty impressive.
trampoline to a new area.
We just tore out all the sod and put mulch under our trampoline.
Oh,
And we just spray Roundup.
that's a good idea.
And I bought some 4x4s and made like a border.
Yeah, well,
area.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
it is what I need to do.
But the
You're
grass
right.
didn't really grow there anyway because it was all shaded out. My yard's very shady.
Yeah, the south side of your house is so shaded.
Yeah.
There's very little grass over there anyway.
That's right. And, you know, Sky was super. She got a pottery wheel she was really into.
Really? You're going to get clay? You got clay?
Yeah, she already made something.
Really? What'd she make?
I don't know, like a little
What,
pot.
Smoke box?
Yeah, like an ashtray.
Yeah.
An ashtray.
A grinder?
Jet got a lot of Paw Patrol stuff. He's really into Paw Patrol right now.
Oh, okay. Did you go see the movie?
No, but we watched it at home. It's not bad.
So you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not bad.
no? I like Paw Patrol. I've always thought...
we got a gift.
We did get a gift from our number one fan, Erica Fry.
Yeah, and it's the official beer of
Snarf.
Talk, but we haven't had any for like a year.
No, every year we get the same drop-off. Very appreciative. Thank you. She makes her rounds, drives around, drops off beer, and then we also give her a gift.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. Thank you, Erica.
Speaking of gifts, now I know Christmas is past, but I might have a gift for you.
Oh, no. Chris, you can't do this. I don't think of this stuff.
That's all right.
It's not all right. Now I have to buy a gift.
No, you don't. You don't.
But this is 2 packages.
Only open the top one for now.
Okay.
First.
This is the bottom. Let me put the bottom.
It's kind of there's a gift for you, but it's kind of a combination gift.
For both of us?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of a Snarf Talk gift.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. The suspense is killing me.
Are you joking me right now? Oh my gosh. I don't know how to explain this.
Or what to do with it.
I don't know how to explain this to you guys, but I'm going to show you right now. This is something I've never gotten in my life.
Look at that.
Look at it.
It's a
It is
portrait.
like majestic. Riding a Mustang, colonial man,
Yeah.
what, colonial general. Holy
when I
cow.
talked to the artist, I was deciding whether or not to airbrush the glasses in or out, but I decided to leave them.
Yeah.
They weren't period appropriate.
Well, no, but who cares at this point? What is the picture? Where did you get my picture like that?
You sent it to me. Remember when I was making you send me pictures?
Yeah, the headshot pictures?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I snuck them. I lied and deceived.
You did. That is hilarious. This is great. That's amazing. So a man actually painted this?
Well, I digitally.
Yeah. But
No, they have like the portraits you can choose from, and
then
just
they
put
get
your
the face on it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're just basically photoshopping it. You know what I mean?
I don't care.
No,
I don't care
it's
what they
cool.
did. That unbelievable. This is great. So the other one is you.
I mean, I could not join. I couldn't not.
You have to
join
be.
in the
Yeah.
fun. So go ahead and open it.
Okay. Let's get that one open. So this one's got to be Chris. Let's see what Chris is writing. Is it the same thing?
No.
You've seen it?
Oh yeah. Of
Oh.
course.
I didn't know if Marley hid it from you or what.
No.
Oh man! Oh, this is so good. Oh my gosh! Unbelievable! What a regal gentleman! Look at him! Look at him there. This is like a West Point photo.
I have no idea what we're gonna do with these, but they're gonna have to hang in the studio.
Yeah, they obviously they've got to go
Behind
up
us. See, we're gonna move our studio over there.
Yeah, we're going to
and
the
then
other
I
side.
think we can make a little more of a shrine to ourselves because
That's what we need to
we
do.
have really big egos. So
That's exactly what we need to do. Wow.
yeah,
I like that a
that's
lot.
what happened. If you want something that cool, and there's a whole myriad of things to choose from, You just choose the picture you want. They have ones for pets. They have ones for women. They have ones for men. They have ones for groups. They have ones for couples. It's turnmeroyal.com.
Turnmeroyal.com. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
That's where I got them.
Well, they do a hell of a job at putting your face.
I will tell you what, I ordered them
pictures.
2 weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks before Christmas, and I didn't think I'd have them because they told me I wouldn't have it. Because it takes about a week to get the print back.
Sure.
And then you can make revisions or not. I chose not to. And then they said it'd be like a week to 10 days to get it. Showed up on Christmas Eve.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, that was perfect.
So I wasn't going to have it by the time we were going to record our Christmas one anyway.
Right.
So it actually just kind of worked out.
It worked out really well. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Such a good idea. Who thought of it, Marley or you?
No, that was all me. I
Was
saw
it really?
They popped up on like Black Friday. They were having a sale. And I thought, oh my God, I should totally get this for Jerry for Christmas.
I told you in the text message, I was like, this sounds fishy.
Yeah, I told him that
Why do I need
us made into cartoons. And I even went on to Fiverr and found somebody that makes you into a cartoon. I'm like, for marketing, advertising, I'm like, if we had cartoon versions of ourselves, which is still a good idea, by the way.
It is still a good idea, and I thought it was a good idea at the time, but he asked me to give him headshots and like of different positions of my head, like good quality. He ran through the gamut of what I needed to do to get this headshot, and I was like, seems fishy.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you asking me for this? I don't, like, is this fake? What's going on? And he's like, no, I honestly just need this. I was like, okay. So I went in the bathroom, set up a tripod with the camera, and got it all done. And this is what he does.
Yep. Turnmeroyal.com.
Sneaks behind my back to give me a gift.
Yeah. They have, and you can get bigger ones. It's just more money. But
you don't need anything bigger than that.
I kind of wish I would have got a little bit smaller. They have 3 sizes, so they got 8 by 10.
I think those are wonderful.
Those are the middle size, but
no, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think it's a great size.
So we can either hang them up here, or you can hang them in your office at home. I don't really care. Or you can hang yours in your office at home anyway.
Well, we'll figure it out when we.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to hang though, Jerry.
We do.
Remember, we have that original Swamp Thing movie poster.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. The Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Snarf Talk thing.
Well, I mean, we got that whole wall.
Star Wars puzzle.
Yeah, the puzzle, but then, I mean, we got that whole wall we can hang stuff on. We got a couple of walls.
So anyway, yeah, that's Christmas. I hope everybody had a Christmas miracle happen to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were going to record a Christmas album. We did record 3 of the songs. We have not released it yet.
No,
we'll release the 3 songs on Patreon.
3? You don't want to do 2 more at some point?
You know what?
What's the difference? No, I mean, it doesn't have to be at a certain time. We can release it whenever we want.
We'll just release the 3 we did. They were good.
Yeah, okay. I know.
So we're going to put one of them at the end of this episode as a teaser.
Boy, you're making a lot of work for me.
All you have to do is take the file off.
There's so many files.
You'll be fine.
Well, I'll get it.
We're going to put one at the end of this episode, the podcast. You won't be able to get it on Facebook if you download the podcast.
Right. You got to download the podcast and you'll get the song at the end of the episode.
Yeah, you'll get a teaser song at the end of the episode. And then the other 2 will be we'll release all 3 on Patreon, and that's going to be our 2021 Christmas album.
Yeah.
I like it.
Absolutely. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Danny said only 3 because Jerry couldn't sing no more. No, he lost his voice completely.
You're exactly right. I came to work and had to... Well, Dan, you were there. Came to work, had a new employee starting that Monday, and I was like, we did this on a Saturday night. Sunday, had no voice. And I was like, maybe it'll get better before tomorrow. I hope it does, because I have a new employee coming. I have a lot of things to explain to them. And Monday morning came. I was getting a lot better Sunday night. And then Monday morning, I woke up, couldn't speak, like basically at all. Got to work. I sounded like a complete idiot. I'm like, I'm your boss. Here's what you got to do. Like, I just couldn't even talk. It was the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened to me. So thanks for that. This is 100% Chris's fault. He kept driving the show. He kept driving it like, we got to do another. We got to do another.
I think that's what happened.
Let's do a metal version of a song.
Yeah. There might be a metal version of a song on there.
Where we scream a lot.
I have not listened to yet.
I have not either. I haven't listened to any of them.
I've listened one of them.
Pretty good, huh?
One of them's not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were really good.
The one that we'll release on the end of the episode, on the podcast episode, is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Did we add more than 3? Didn't we do 4
I thought we did 4 songs. Yeah, I thought we did 4 songs because we were going to do 5 total. I thought we did 4 that night, and we're going to do 1 more.
I think that's right. Well, we'll have 4 this year.
Yeah. It's...
and the other ones you can get on patreon.com/snarftalk, where you can subscribe for $5 a month level. You can get that content, and you can get all the content that we've ever posted on Patreon. You can listen to it all in 1 month, and then you can cancel.
Yeah, you can absolutely cancel after the 1 month and get
I mean, I
all of our content
if I was you, but
because you're going to get more content.
I guess we barely ever release anything.
Well, we haven't.
We have also coming on Patreon in the next week, probably, assuming that Jerry has time. We recorded an episode of Alex Talk.
We did.
Yeah. Was it Alex Talk?
I think we called it something like that. Yeah, Alex Talk.
So that'll be on there as well.
That was an hour and a half. It was a long show.
Yeah,
it's a long show that you guys will get for $5
and uncensored and probably
raw, uncensored and raw.
All right, what we're gonna do today? I got 2 spring stretchers. We got a bunch of what we're watching. We're mostly gonna just do some what we're watching. Before that, though, we're gonna talk about C2E2. We went to C2E2. We
did.
Got a lot to talk about on that. We're gonna talk about that. I have some ads to do for people at C2E2, but I don't have any of the content prepared. So we'll just
Christopher.
pepper them in. I just told them I'd give them an ad.
You just gonna pepper it?
We're gonna pepper.
Salt
Pepper.
and pepper. Salt and pepper's here.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper's here.
What is that accent you're doing?
That's how they say it. Salt and pepper's here.
Okay.
So it's an ethnic blend.
But before that, hit that button.
Snuff Announcements.
We have some Snarf announcements.
We have some Snarf Announcements.
Just one, really. Well, 2. Of course, we already talked about the Christmas songs coming on Patreon. But next week, hopefully, our 150th episode, we're still planning on having a good time with that, right?
Yeah.
If Dude's not in Texas, he'll be on there.
Oh, yeah. He should be home, right?
No, he hasn't even left yet.
But he left.
No, he's in Kentucky. And then he's going to Texas for work. So if Dude's around, he'll be on that, and then we'll have hopefully a 4th. We haven't released who that will be yet.
No.
But it's going to be, we might see if we can get Mr. Seedentop to do some bartending.
I hope he can.
We talked about some bartending.
Yeah, I think it would be wonderful. Him in the background, bartending.
We'll see. We're going to do, hopefully we'll have a cake.
We should have a cake.
We had other plans. What were our plans for that show? We were going to do...
the guests, and then we were going to do a game.
A game? Maybe we'll do...
Like the quiz.
More trivia.
Or that's what it was. Trivia game.
But we had other things, but I can't remember what they were.
You'll have to listen back to our previous episodes, Chris.
We'll come up with some fun stuff. We'll do it'll probably be a good, long, fun weekend. It'll probably be on a weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it would be best.
Yeah. On a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
But then again, I'm off all next week still.
Really?
As well. Yeah, I don't go back to work until January 10th. They do. I just happen to take.
Well, I'm good Thursday then.
I happen to take like all of my extra leave I had at the end of the year.
Nice.
So,
well, I can not work Friday morning, so Thursday is fine with me then.
Yeah. If I'm in town, Amy and I might go out of town with the boys next week at some point. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, though.
Okay. Well,
now you know my plans. Everyone knows my plans.
Now you can rob his house. So hopefully it'll be next week. We'll see, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It'll be next week.
And in fact, if you're off, I mean, I can do it really any night then.
So can I.
I don't really care. All right. So that's all we got for
Snuff Announcements.
Nice. C2E2 has came and went.
Oh, man, was it a time.
It was a bit of a roller coaster this year.
It was different. That's for sure.
It was, well, first of all, unfortunately, Jerry had to deal with a sick child, so he missed.
And he's still sickly. He's got strep as of today.
Yeah.
Got strep throat. Took him to the doctor. He's had asthma he's got a ton of asthma issues, and it's not bad. It just like pops up out of nowhere, and then you got to give him like 9 different steroids and call it a day.
Yeah.
And it's usually like 3 days and he's done. That's what happened to us, and it fell on a day where Christmas shopping was happening at the same time, and there was no way that was not going to happen. So Chris and Dude ended up going on Saturday.
Yeah, so me and
together.
All 3 of us went Friday.
Yeah, Friday we went, all 3 of us, and it was a wonderful day.
Yeah, and this is we had to leave a little early because we had the Christmas concert. Grab me one of those too, would you? Yep. Those yangs. Are we gonna call them that? Yangs. We had to leave a little early for the Christmas concert, but that's fine. So Friday, we had a great day, but it was pretty dead.
Yeah, there was not many people around on Friday, and it surprised me. I thought later in the day it would get a little...
Well, but we left by 2:30.
No, it was
Or 3.
after 3.
Around then, anyway.
Because why did we leave later than what we wanted to,
We
Chris?
saw our old friend, Eric Macias. At Iman Macias or something like that. We'll post it. Who's been doing our caricatures for years now.
So if you've been following us,
He does our logo on Facebook. Do you see it on there?
Yes, our Facebook logo is done by Iman Macias, Eric Macias, and we also did a coloring contest last year with our caricature.
Yeah.
And that is what we got done this year. We got a new caricature done.
Yeah, make that a
Snuff Announcements.
Snarf Talk Coloring Contest 2022 is officially going to start at episode 150. We'll release the details on episode 150 of what you got to do. You'll have probably, you'll have several months to complete it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
But our new caricature.
I would like to, but wouldn't you like to have it before? What am I thinking of? Snarf
Madness?
Yeah, Snarf Madness.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll run it until I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
Snarf Madness usually corresponds with March Madness. If you're familiar with the whole, madness of March.
Yeah.
Thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we had him do our caricature this year. He did it in color and black and white this year, which I was super excited about.
Incredible.
Because the color version he did was great, and we're going to show it. We'll debut it at the 150th episode.
Yes.
And then we'll release the details for the contest. So you will get a black and white one to color yourself, but we will show you his colored one.
I'm telling you right now, this is my favorite.
This is the best one he's ever done. Last year, obviously, we had first year we had a Titanic theme.
We did, which is amazing.
It's fun. We didn't do a coloring contest. Last year was the first year we did the coloring contest, and that was a Ghostbusters theme, which turns out to be really timely.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And this year, also timely, because we did a Mandalorian theme.
And Book of Boba just came out yesterday.
Dude is in it with us.
And Dude's in it with us. We've got 3 people in the caricature as Mandalorians.
Yeah. So it's awesome. Can't wait to show it to everybody next
it is
episode.
So good.
But we spent a good chunk of time with him.
I can't say enough how wonderful he is with us. Like every time we've sat down,
Just how wonderful he is to work with in general.
I know, just to work with. Like I feel like we kind of ask a lot. Like we sit down and we ask a lot of him, and we have asked a lot of him in the past, and he has not had a problem with it and just like rolled with us and was like, yeah, man, we'll do it. I'll give you what you want. And he delivers every single time.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
So that was a lot of fun. But in general, it was a little dead on Friday, but we can talk about, we still had a fun time. The show itself, initially, I think we were all kind of wild. We're like, oh, this is way smaller. But really, I don't think it was that much smaller.
I think it was smaller towards the front end.
Yeah.
Like they pushed everything towards the back.
I actually felt like the backside was way more full than I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
And Artist Alley, I think, was the biggest I've ever seen.
It was. I agree with you. I think Artist Alley was huge. That is one of our favorite places. Chris hit that up really hard on Saturday.
Yeah.
And interviewed some people, talked to a lot of people that I didn't know you were going to talk to, but that it worked out amazing. Yeah.
We haven't released any of that just because it's been crazy. So I have some interviews and stuff to release on our YouTube page. But anyway, on Friday, we basically walked the floor most of the day Friday. We went through Artist Alley. There was a lot of great... I recommend I mean, C2E2, anybody can have a really good time there.
I do. I think anybody can. You can go there and find what you like.
Even if you just like shopping, there's lots of that.
Yeah, there's a ton of shopping. There's so many options that you can do there. There's different areas of the venue that will provide different things. So if you like artists, you can find them. If you like novels, you can find that. If you like comic books, you can find that. If you like T-shirts, like material things, like anything, you can find it.
Handcrafted items.
Handcrafted books, leather-bound books. You can find that. Elf ears.
Yeah.
You want those? You'll find them there.
Costumes.
Swords. You guaranteed you'll find a sword.
Yeah.
I mean, how many swords did you see?
A lot of swords.
A lot of swords. A lot of swords.
Celebrities. You'll see that.
Yeah, there's celebrities there.
Not as good. Their celebrity and that whole deal they have isn't as good to me as Wizard World.
I agree.
Where
Which
you're a
has
little more-
changed.
Yeah,
we
now
found
it's
out.
Fan Expo.
Which I've already looked into. I was looking into press passes for that.
Nice.
It seems way more involved.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole application process that I'll need to start now.
Yeah. Well, I can help you with it. That's fine.
Yeah, it is a bigger process, but I think we can do it, and we should get into that because it's coming up.
Yeah, we got some. So we walked the floor. We took a lot of pictures just for like B-roll footage, stuff like that. But yeah, we just saw a lot of cool vendors. Shop for some comic books. We kind of cruised through Artist Alley pretty quick on Friday.
Yeah.
Just because we were running short on time. But we did get the caricature drawn, and we didn't go to any panels this year because honestly, their panels kind of sucked.
They didn't. They were not good. You didn't go to any on Saturday?
No, it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the time. Click up our volume a little bit on the output. I don't know why it seems to keep dragging down.
That seems better, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yep, we're good.
Okay.
But
So explain to me what you did on Saturday.
yeah, so we went back on Saturday, me and Dude, and I mean, just right out of the gate, it was a whole different energy. The vibe was just completely different. Craig asked if we saw Billy Zane. No, Billy Zane was not there. We actually didn't really see any celebrities of those type. We saw artists and writers, but
Yeah.
I tried to get a book signed by Timothy Zahn. I brought Heir to the Empire, but the line was too long.
Was it too long?
Well,
That's too bad.
We had went back at the end of the day. We had to leave at a certain amount of time because we got back for that party.
Yeah.
So we did have to leave by like 5. And he was signing from like 4:30 to 5:30 or something like that. This is kind of the bummer is both days we had to leave early, and really in the late afternoon and early evening is when stuff starts to really pick up.
It does, yeah.
So hopefully that won't be the case next year. But so we were going to get there about a half an hour early, get in line. I wanted to get this book signed. Well, I had stopped by earlier and I talked to Kyle Higgins, who's a comic book writer that me and Jerry both like, but we've been to some panels of him. He's just a really good down-to-earth guy. He's from Chicago.
Yeah, and the way he talks about writing
He's wrote
is
Nightwing,
awesome.
Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
Power Rangers, a lot of great stuff. Billy Zane attached again, but Jerry totally fucking swept. I didn't see that.
I totally
Swept,
the leg.
I got it. Attacked. Gotcha.
Yep.
John Cena was there, but we didn't
He
see
was.
him. So anyway, we talked to Kyle Higgins, and he said, "Okay, come back. I got a panel. Come back at 4:30, and we'll do an interview." And I said, "Oh, great." So we came back at 4:30. Basically, skipped out on getting early in the Timothy Zahn line, and then he kind of never showed. So I left him a sticker. And I understand. He's at a panel. It might have went long. He might have been sidetracked. He might have just got tired. I don't know. Or he forgot. I mean, whatever.
He ghosted you.
Yeah.
He did.
So I left him a sticker. I said, "Oh, we'll catch you next time, Chris and Jerry," and put it on his desk or his booth.
On his table. That was a good idea, though.
Yeah.
That's a good idea to put a sticker with the names on it. I like that.
Yeah, so it was a lot more crowded the second day. We went back. We did a little more shopping. We spent a lot of time, not a lot of time, but a good chunk of time looking at comics because Jerry on Friday was like, "Oh, man, I got to figure out what comics I need so when we come back tomorrow." Well, then when you couldn't come back, you knew what comics you needed. So me and Dude kind of hung out and looked at it.
Yeah,
I
felt bad.
I felt like Dude was a little more uncomfortable in certain aspects, and maybe just because he's not as outgoing as
Sure.
as me or you is comfortable being.
Yeah.
He's definitely outgoing, but maybe he's just not as comfortable with putting himself on the line.
It
as
is.
We are.
It's strange. It is a strange feeling when you have to like confront somebody and tell them like you're going to pay them a certain amount of money or about a book or hey, would you like to do an interview?
Right.
And have some weird person stand in front of us and videotape this.
Yeah.
You know, like
You have to basically have no shame.
yeah, it is what it is though. Like that's the time we live in.
Yeah.
There are so many other people than us doing the same thing
Right.
and making great content. And that's what we would like to do is make great content of things that we find enjoyable. But I was very appreciative that you went and found the comic books that I was looking for because I didn't know if they would be there. And it was a lot less than I thought I needed, but it was the main 4 comic books that I needed in my run of Swamp Thing. I love Swamp Thing. Bernie Wrightson did the first 20 issues of Swamp Thing, and he was the artist that did the covers. And so I have 5 through 20, and I told Chris, I was like, I need 1 through 4. I was like, I don't know if you see 1 through 4, like I'd love to have them, but I don't know what they're going for. And they ended up being a way higher quality than I ever thought that they would be, and got them for a really good price. And I have them actually.
Yeah.
So he got one for himself, which is number 7, and this is the first one that Batman appeared on. And this is I have this one. Chris has this one. It's an amazing cover.
Yeah, I just bought it to have a second copy because I just
Which way do I need
the
to go?
copy
Right
I
there.
have isn't great, so I just thought I'm just gonna grab another one.
It's an amazing cover. Batman swooping in, Swamp Thing on a building. It's number 7 from the 80s. Really wonderful.
Yeah.
But then we get into the meat and potatoes of things here. And 1 through 4 is what I needed. I'm going to try to find 4 first. This is number 4 right here. You see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a little like evil guy in the background over there.
Yeah.
Right there. See
I
him?
like that cover.
I like that cover
It's
a
got
lot too.
Gothic feel.
And to be honest, I don't know. I've never read this book.
No, I've never read any
I
of the...
feel bad saying that.
I've
never
only read from Alan Moore up. I haven't read down.
Yeah, never read the book. I should probably read that. But I just love these covers. They're never going to be made again. These are something that I want to collect for a long time. Number 3 right here. He's carrying a woman. Don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Looks wonderful. Number 2. This is a good one with a lot of dead people hanging on him.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
It's the second startling issue.
It is the second startling issue. But the biggest one here, number 1.
Swamp Thing number 1.
Yeah.
The first Swamp Thing comic. Not his first appearance, but that's the first Swamp Thing comic, number 1.
This is the first Swamp Thing comic. I have it in my possession.
Pretty valuable book.
It is in great condition. And yeah, very valuable book. I'm super pumped that you got it for me.
Only
and
going
I
to go up
can't,
in value.
yeah, I can't tell you thank you enough.
Yeah, no problem. It was they had several. I did a lot of negotiating. I made one guy extremely angry.
Yeah.
He did not like me. He made it very known that I was not welcome in his booth any longer.
Really?
Yeah, he was an asshole.
'Cause you-
and you had talked to him on Friday.
Oh, did I?
He must have
Which
recognized
guy?
the sweatshirt, and he said, "Oh, I talked to you yesterday." And I go, "Nah, I think you talked to my buddy yesterday." It was at that booth that had the original art. It was like Anthony's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yes. Did you talk to that guy?
I did.
Obviously,
I did.
Was he a jerk to you?
Not at the time. I was just asking him if he had any Swamp Thing art.
Yeah.
And he directed me to
He didn't have the book. What he had was, and it's a copy that I have. It's the first John Constantine Hellraiser.
Yeah.
So I had gone back and forth with him.
I need to get that too.
We were digging through. We were looking through. I think it's 37.
It is.
We were digging through some other books, trying to find a number 1 or whatever. And he didn't have it. He was nice for that whole thing. And he goes, I got a 37 first Hellblazer. What is it?
Hellblazer, yeah.
And I go, yeah, I have that book. I don't really need another one. But maybe Jerry would like it. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, I just got it in a collection. I haven't even looked at it. Doesn't have price or anything like that. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want for it? Like, what do you think it's worth? And he didn't know. He's like, I don't know. So we both started like looking on eBay, and I know what it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought my copy for.
He owns it, sells comics, and he doesn't know what he should price it at.
I mean, I don't know, but I bought my copy for under $80.
Okay.
It's probably worth more now.
It's probably worth more now. Yeah,
$100.
$100.
I got it, and I looked at it, and it was going for $400 on eBay. And I said, it's worth $400. I said it's probably worth $400. I'm not gonna pay that much.
Entertain that. Yeah.
Yeah. I go. I mean, I would take it for $50 if you just didn't want to deal with it. But other than that, and he just looks at me. He's like, "Well, it's worth $400." And I go, "Well, I mean, I just told you it's worth $400." Right. And I said, "I understand you're not going to be interested." I said it in a very nice way.
I'm not.
It's $400. I'm like, it's $400, and like, I'm not going to spend it. I already got a copy. I'm like, I would take it for $50, but I mean, I understand that's way under the market. That's what I said to him.
Yeah.
And he got all offended.
Very
pissed off, and I'm like, what do you care?
Yeah. Why are you so mad at me? Like, what? I'm the one who told you what it was, like, priced at.
Right. I just told you what it's worth. I said I'd give you $50 if you just didn't want to.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he was. I didn't have an issue.
He doesn't know what grade it is. I'm like, at a high grade, it's worth $400, but if it's a low grade, it's worth $50.
Right, exactly. And he's not grading it, so it doesn't matter. I didn't have that issue with him the day before. I had asked him if he had any original Swamp Thing like art. I was asking him about books. I did ask him about a #1, and he told me he didn't have it. But he was showing me some original art that I was looking at, which
I saw
was amazing.
5, maybe, at the show.
And I didn't buy any of it on that day, obviously, but I should. If I could get some original art.
Yeah, and it's out there. Some of it's
so
too
cool.
expensive.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I know.
I mean,
some of you
I
guys
would love
probably
to
don't
have
know,
it, but sometimes it's just not worth it.
it's not. A lot of times it's
You're
not.
talking to thousands of dollars, or I mean, even to get just a regular page for a couple $100, maybe that.
Yeah, I could see that, or an original cover. If you could find an original cover, like just drawn and for a couple $100, I would do that.
I just wouldn't do it at a show. I think you can just buy stuff on eBay a lot easier.
I agree. But it's so available in front of you.
It is.
That's the temptation when you go to a show.
I mean, everybody negotiates.
When you go to a show and you see the people face to face, and you see the art right in front of you that they're like handing out in front of you, you can rifle through boxes. There's just like a draw there that is different than looking on eBay.
And it's their Catalina wine mixer, man. They gotta make their nut.
You're exactly right. That's the best way to explain it.
10 copters to make their nut.
Yeah.
They gotta sell 10 pages.
I gotta sell 10 pages, 10 books. Well, we are suckers every time because we always buy something. What did you buy anything?
Just that #7. No, nothing
just
else.
the #7, huh? You didn't get anything else?
Oh yeah, I got a. We found this really cool guy that did it's kind of a splatter paint artist. There were prints, but I bought one that was a TARDIS. That's for in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bought one for my mom for Christmas. And these were pretty big prints, matted.
How did she like that?
She loved it. It was Lord of the Rings.
That's so great.
And so it was like a silhouette of all the different characters just like walking across the landscape, but it was a multicolored, like, I want to say like watercolor splatter paint kind of thing. It is.
It's like watercolor. I saw the 3 prints and I said, hey, Chris.
Get that.
You need to get that.
So I got that. And then I got Marley one. It's the Cinderella's castle with the Disney characters in front of it.
Yeah.
For Christmas. She loved that. And then, dude, we went back on Saturday, and he got a couple as well. He got.
I thought he got some on a Friday, though.
You know what he did?
When we were there,
he got one that's
same
Han
time.
and Leia, and it says "I love you, I know."
Yep.
And then,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then he got one for Grace. I can't remember what he got though. Maybe something Harry Potter. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
And then he went back and got a Yoda. Oh no, that was a different booth. He got this really cool like watercolor Yoda painting.
Oh, he did.
Of him lifting the X-wing on Dagobah out of the swamp, and he was gonna like write like the quote underneath of it and frame it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I bought some posters. I met a really cool artist, and he had a really neat. I'll bring it next week. I should have brought it.
Yeah.
It's like a close up of Daredevil, but it's like kind of abstract with a lot of negative space.
Oh man.
So it's like the helmet and stuff, but his face is like negative space.
Yeah. It's like relieved.
It was like on a white piece of paper. So I don't know. It's really cool.
I know what you mean.
It was black and white, and it's just awesome. So I'm gonna hang that up because we got a lot of Star Wars stuff and a lot of Doctor Who stuff, but Daredevil's big one for me.
So good.
So that was cool. We got a poster for Erica because she has it for part of her bundle of Snarf.
Yeah, of course.
Of Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah, and met a lot of cool artists. I met did an interview with this one guy who wrote a series of children's books. I'll get his name. I'll bring it on here. A series of children's books that talk about like emotions. So there's like an anger book, like a sadness book, like a whole range, like every emotion. And they're very simple, really good art, good quality books with like simple messages for kids about like being able to understand and control their emotions.
Sure.
So I had a really good talk with this guy. I interviewed him and then I talked with him for a while about how I thought what he was doing was really cool and important. I remember a dude was he got very flustered by that.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, we got to go. And I'm like in the middle of talking to this dude, just like chill.
Well, I mean, standing on the outside of that conversation might be a little bit strange, but you could also be involved.
Right.
Be involved with the conversation as well.
It was fine. But then I did an interview with another dude. I can't remember. But I interviewed Charles Soule.
Yeah.
Who's like a very, very famous, one of the biggest comic book writers right now.
Yes. He's done so many things.
Great. I did like a 15-minute interview with him.
That's
Just
unbelievable.
Went on and on. I got it. I'm going to post it to our YouTube. We talked about, and I hope that...
He seems like he was wonderful.
He was wonderful. I tried to send it to you, but I couldn't. Wouldn't send the file. It was too big.
Oh.
I would have hoped that my interview of him was not like just the normal stuff, because I brought those books first off, and I'm like, let's talk about Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Because he took over for Scott Snyder right after the New 52.
Correct.
I bet nobody asked him about his run on Swamp Thing.
Guaranteed.
So
that's a genius move.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about Swamp Thing and about how interesting of a character that is to write for, because an artist or a writer can really put their mark on it.
Yeah.
They're like a blank canvas character, right?
It's,
not a lot of baggage comes with it. It's a showpiece for you to, like a conduit.
Yep.
And that's what's great about that character.
And then it's opposite when you come to Daredevil type stories that he's done.
Well,
like where it's
so that
super deep story.
Yes.
And where art comes into play, sure. But the story of Daredevil is where it really hits.
So we talked a lot about Daredevil. We talked about how it is, what it's like to tackle a character that literally every run of that character in that book is like the best in the business on that character. You know, you got Mark Waid.
Yeah.
You got Frank Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I blanking on that big one from the 90s? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
You had Kevin Smith. Didn't Ed Brubaker do...
Yes, Ed Brubaker did some, and then...
oh, my gosh.
The most recent one that
Brian Michael Bendis, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis. Jeez. I mean, so it's literally, they never give that book to just like a, hey, let's test this guy out in that book. It's always the best of the best in the industry at the time is writing Daredevil, period.
Yep.
And even Batman, they'll bring other people in on, or less experienced people.
They do.
They don't do that with Daredevil. Probably because Batman has like 12 books going.
Which he's done Batman too, hasn't he?
I don't know.
I thought he did a Batman run.
He basically has been in charge with the whole Marvel, Star Wars comic book, everything. Like he's done a lot of the Star Wars books.
Oh, so yeah.
We talked about that a little bit.
He was brought on first, he was one of the first people that was brought on to restart Star Wars for Marvel.
And he's written Star Wars books, novels. As well, he's a novel.
But when
writer
Marvel
as well.
restarted their comic book run of Star Wars, he was one of the first writers that they brought on.
Yeah.
To say,
And
like,
then he did
start this.
Darth Vader.
He did Darth Vader. He did a Han Solo book.
Yeah.
And he did a regular Star Wars book.
Yeah, and I can't remember what the new one he's doing now is, but he did a lot of great stuff.
So many things.
And he's written novels, so we talked a little bit about Timothy Zahn being there and some of his influences on Star Wars.
Did he talk about being influenced by Timothy Zahn or being in contact with him or anything?
Yeah, definitely. So I specifically mentioned several writers. Timothy Zahn was one. Claudia Gray was one. And a couple more that we talked about. And I said, these are big deal Star Wars authors right now. And he's like, it is weird, because now I'm like contemporaries and friends with these people.
Right.
So that changes everything. It's like when you are a fan of these people, or more likely when I got the job and you're going back and you're reading all these people and you become a fan of those people, it's one thing. And then when you meet them and you become a coworker of theirs, that's a whole different thing. Like he's working with Scott Snyder right now on some things.
Oh my gosh.
Him and Scott Snyder have worked together and collaborated on many different things. So for me to sit there and be like, what's it like to take over a book after Scott Snyder, the great Scott Snyder,
But he's at that level.
He is at that level. And I didn't say that. I would never say that, but
you don't want to downplay
that's
it.
what you're kind of thinking. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Scott Snyder's probably younger than, I don't know. I mean, they're both young.
It doesn't matter.
You know what I mean?
Age-wise, it doesn't matter. It matters on what you've done. And at this point, they've done immense things. I mean, they're both on the same level. But yeah, it is hard to frame a question to a writer that is writing at that level.
I think there's no doubt that whether he is considered now or will be in 10 years, Charles Soule is going to go down
in
as
history,
one of the best comic book writers of at
our
least
time.
The several decades span,
Yeah, of the time that we've been around comic books, he's going to be...
I think Swamp Thing was his first book. I think he told me that.
Was it really?
Yeah, he's relatively new to... He was a lawyer before he was a writer. That's why part of the reason why he got Daredevil. He told me about it all in the interview. We talked about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm the only lawyer who's ever written Daredevil. He's like, so I had a completely unique perspective to give.
Yeah. On Matt Murdock, the lawyer. That's incredible. I did not know that.
So that was great.
That's really good content.
Like I said, there was a couple other little interviews we did here and there, and we shot a lot of footage. But we had a ball. The energy on Saturday, and I don't mean to say this to like...
No, I think it's wonderful. No, I think
the energy was exactly what we were looking for on Friday that we kept commenting.
And I've been there. I've done it with you. Like it feels good. I wasn't mad or about any of that. I thought it was wonderful that you and Dude could experience that, especially Dude, because on Friday, it was a little it was just different. On Friday, it was just slower.
And we were rushed.
Slower pace.
We were looking at the clock all the time.
Yes, it was so rushed. And he said, like, oh, I had such a great time. It's like, but it gets better.
I didn't think he was going to come back with me on Saturday.
I didn't know if he would either.
No, he was all about it, but I didn't know.
When it's your first time ever going and experiencing something, though, even though our expectations were low or our expectations were high, but it didn't meet them. For him, he had no expectations, and it met them and exceeded what he thought it was going to be.
Right.
So therefore, the next day was like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I go on a weekend? Sure, like you and Dude can go by themselves and see what's going on. And Saturdays and Sundays are Saturday in particular is like the best day to go.
I think what we really need to do is, I think me and you need some more firsts as it's coming to these shows. We've gone to so many of them now. So we need some firsts. We need some firsts, like maybe we're going to stay in a hotel and go to the nighttime stuff, or maybe we're going to have a booth, or maybe we're going to broadcast from the show, or maybe we need a new mountain to climb as far as these shows go.
I applied for all of those things. Yeah. That's the thing, like applying. We need to apply as an exhibitor, but we have to have something to apply for.
Well, we have to buy a booth. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's not cheap.
Isn't it? I've never looked at it.
Wizard, it's not bad. It's $1,500 at C2E2 to get a booth.
Sheesh.
But at Wizard, it's like maybe $400, but you get 4 tickets or something, or 5 tickets.
Yeah, that's worth it.
So, I mean, you're really not out a whole lot of money.
But you get tickets for C2E2 as well, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, which are pretty
Every day.
expensive.
Yeah. I mean, that is a lot of money. Tickets are a lot of money. And that's why this year when we went as press, it was like a big deal. You know, that was a big deal to go as press. And it honestly changed the game for you when it came to talking to people to show a press badge.
Yeah, for sure. And it would have been way more if you were there because, you know, I'm generally the more reserved one as far as like approaching people and doing interviews. Although I was fine getting into it by the end.
Yeah.
You generally tend to be a little more outgoing in that sense.
In your face.
Yeah, not in a bad way, in a good way.
Prowler.
There was a fun story. We kept walking by Brian Azzarello, his booth, and I'm a huge fan of his. 100 Bullets.
I saw him on Friday, and he was standing there. I was standing right next to him. Saw him, like I wasn't even in the line. I kind of cut at his line, and was just standing there listening to him talking to a guy. You weren't around. I think you were on the phone, actually. You were talking on the phone.
Oh, yeah, I was talking to Joel.
And I was standing there just listening to him talk to this guy and looked at all of his books and everything. And then I walked away. I was like, holy cow. Like, I just realized, like, it just hit me. Like, that was Brian Azzarello. Like, he's a big deal.
Yeah, he's
like,
from Chicago, too.
He's a big deal. And I never got to talk to him or anything, but you had the experience of talking to him.
Yeah, so I went up and talked to him.
Saturday.
We noticed real quick, we're like, there's nobody at his booth. Well, we had to go run somewhere to talk to somebody, or we had to catch something.
Okay.
So we had to go to the other side of the show. And I'm like, oh, man, but I really want to talk to Brian Azzarello. Like, he's right there. There's no line right now.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're like, I'm like, you know what? It was something the dude wanted to do. I'm like, you know what? I've been dragging him around. Like, let's go over and do this.
Yeah.
So we went over there. We did that. And I'm like, okay, let's go back and see if he's got a line now. There was no line. There was no line like the whole day for him. And
Unbelievable.
It just blows my mind.
Yeah,
this guy, he's a Batman. he's done Batman. He did his own book, 100 Bullets.
The 100 Bullets run is unbelievable.
It's a top 25 all-time comic book.
Yes.
And he's done many, many, many other things. So I go up there. I'm like, hey, you're a big fan. I'm here with Snarf Talk Podcast. We're press. I didn't know if you had a couple of minutes to do an interview. And he's like, who are you with? I'm like, Snarf Talk Podcast. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, okay. He's like, all right. And what do you want to do? And I'm like, just a quick interview. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you can give.
Anything you want to promote, or just to let the people on our networks, like, talk to them, whatever.
Yeah. Ask a couple questions.
Yeah, whatever. And he's like, so like audio only? I go, no, it'd be video, audio and video. And he's like, oh. I'm like, but I said it really nice. I'm like, if you don't want to do this, let's not do it. Like, it's not a big deal. And he's like, I really just don't want to do it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He was very nice about it.
Yeah.
He's just like, I really just don't want to do it.
But that's an awkward situation. Like sitting there.
He would have done the audio. I think he just didn't want to be on video.
Really?
Yeah.
And
which is understanding.
I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand people not wanting to be videotaped while giving an interview. And
he doesn't know what we're doing. I mean,
no.
He didn't dispute like any of our credentials or anything.
No, but still, like when you don't have any idea about a person or what they're doing or what it's for, I can understand the reserve.
Absolutely. So we didn't do it. And that was kind of a bummer. And then we were going to do the one with Kyle Higgins. I was really excited about that one. Because I've actually like heard him talk before, so I had reference points to talk about.
I was really excited about that too when you told me like, hey, I've got this set up at 4:30 or 4:50.
Well, and I just know he's a real. First of all, he's from like Joliet, Lockport.
Yeah, he's not far.
He's just very similar to us. He's just like a normal dude.
And I thought it was cool because he based Winter Soldier out of Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought like his books were amazing being based out of an area that we're from.
I think lives and works in Chicago, and he does panels on like the Chicago comic book community,
which is awesome.
So maybe we will catch him.
We'll get him. We'll snag him.
You know, we talked about doing the Lockport Comic Con has a big Comic Con.
Yes,
we talked to those people.
What is that? Is it a Comic Con or is it?
Yeah, it's a Comic Con.
And they do it out of the Lockport, like What?
Library. I think they shut the whole block down. Maybe.
Yeah, they said they shut a whole street down and do, like a regular Comic-Con. They have vendors there. You can dress up, do cosplay, everything like that, right in Lockport. Joliet does the same thing.
Joliet's is Star Wars Day.
It just got canceled, though.
What?
Joliet's Star Wars Day. It's
Why?
Canceled. I don't know. I just saw a press release that from the Joliet Herald that they canceled the Star Wars Day. So
well, it's not till March or May.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Well, anyway, we talked to the Lockport people, and they were like very interested in us being a part of it and broadcasting there.
Yes, I asked them if we could do a live broadcast like of the show during their production, and they said 100%. We would be all about that. And I think it's wonderful to promote things in our area that we like, and this is what we like. So if anybody's interested, we'll give you the dates when we find them out on when we can be there or when it's happening, and hopefully you can show up because I want to do a show there.
Yeah, and Fan Expo Chicago, I guess, is in July.
July, yeah.
So that's a great time for us. So
it is. That's wonderful.
So that's it for C2E2. I mean, we had a great time. We met a lot of cool people. I think Dude was really into it. So I had a great time. I can't wait for the next one. I feel like this was kind of like a half measure since you can only be there part of the time. We didn't know what to expect, really.
Right. Because of COVID, like a lot of things had changed because of COVID. And they, we knew they were going to like make it a little bit smaller. But it ended up being apparently very good.
Yeah.
Like a very good thing.
Nolan says, I suggest whenever you get a get for Snarf Talk, like Charles Soule,
yeah,
you call it a Snarf Snag.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's definitely going to work out.
Yeah. Snarf Snag. What's bars?
I don't know what he means by bars.
I like the Snarf Snag. That's a really good idea. Yeah. And we're going to write that down.
All right. So you ready to move on from that?
Yes, sir.
Where are we at on time?
Hour and 12 minutes.
Oh, so we don't have a ton of time. I'm going to do one of my spring stretchers.
Oh, boy. I'm so excited.
Ready for this?
I love these.
Spring stretcher. This one I've has annoyed me for years, but I never thought of it until just the other day when I'm looking at something on Facebook Marketplace. Whenever people are selling a vehicle, a car, truck, whatever it might be.
Sure.
When they put their finger over the license plate.
Oh, my gosh.
Why are you doing that?
We already know you own the vehicle.
What are you possibly what are you going to lose?
What are you saving?
What do you think is going to happen?
You've been tracked your entire life now, in the life that we live with social media and being on a social media site, doing whatever. You're posting on there. You've put your name. You've put most likely your phone number. Even if you put the little X's or whatever in the phone number and have people contact you, doesn't matter. We will know who you are.
And what does it hurt by somebody getting your license plate number? You
Nothing.
drive around all day long with your license plate number on full display.
Anybody could be taking pictures of your license plate all day long.
I just don't even
Why
understand
people would
what
do
is
that.
going through people's minds when they do that. I don't get it.
I don't know.
If anybody listening to this podcast has done this, A, for shame.
Right, but B,
I want to know why.
Why are you doing this?
So this annoys you too?
Do you have a warrant? Like, is there a warrant out for your arrest right now?
Do you think they're going to look up your license plate number and somehow like steal your private information?
Or the vehicle?
That you're posting for sale on a website?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Yeah. That's ridiculous. You're right. I've never thought about it. I've never thought about that. I've seen it so many times. And it hasn't stretched any of my springs until now that you brought it up, and it's so dumb.
It just drives me insane whenever I see people do it.
No, there's no sense.
I'm like, I'm not buying your vehicle. No interest in your vehicle, Mr. Finger over license plate dude.
Because as soon as I start to haggle your price, you're going to put a finger over what, my price or like my mouth? Like, shh. Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Don't shush me.
Yeah, stop that. Put your finger away,
I cannot be
bud.
silenced, sir.
Put your finger away, bud. Stupid.
So yeah, no, that's definitely a spring stretcher for you. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do the other one.
Do the other one. Bring it on. You got two?
I don't know when, and we say this. I don't feel like we needed to do this disclaimer every time, but we're not a political show. We're very open-minded politically to all kinds of people, all kinds of stripes.
Yep. Lots.
That brings it back to the C2E2 thing. Gender-neutral bathrooms.
That was interesting.
Yeah. No men's or women's bathroom.
Oh, no, they had them.
They blocked off the men's room.
There was a men's and women's bathroom that they put tape over.
The men's room, specifically.
Yeah, blocked them off. And then had one bathroom that was specifically gender neutral.
And all men
and that's
and
the
women,
only way.
That's the only bathroom.
Only bathroom you could go into.
All men and women went in the same bathroom.
And I followed a woman and her daughter into the same bathroom, and that was super uncomfortable. I've never done that in my life. I know you have brought up before, like, you have a daughter, you've brought her to the bathroom, like a men's bathroom before, and you have to deal with that in life. I don't personally. I only have boys. I've got 3 boys. I've never experienced anything like that. But Amy has taken the boys to a women's bathroom. I've never experienced anything like that, and it was all. I
don't worry about the children. Children are for whatever. It's more sad for the adult women that have to go share a bathroom with a bunch of men.
Yeah,
because of no reason, for no reason.
Because you were forced. There was no choice.
There was no option.
I don't understand why you take away the choice of a men's and women's, and then you could also, if you had a gender neutral bathroom along with a men's and women's open, would never have crossed my mind.
It's the whole thing of like all of these so-called rights are really just taking away from women's rights.
It is. It really is.
Totally beside the point. But it does tie into my other spring stretcher. When did the word folks, like you folks, when did that become like a surefire sign that that person's a liberal? If they're using the word folks.
I guess I didn't know it was.
That's like the new liberal speak.
I didn't know
refer to everybody as folks.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, that is.
I did not know this. I haven't paid attention enough, I guess.
Nolan said, I was talking to Janelle about that. They halved the amount of bathrooms on purpose. Did somebody have a monkey paw? Somebody have a monkey paw complete a wish. I don't know why they would have done it.
I don't know either.
It makes no sense.
No.
But anyway, folks, yeah, it's been like co-opted by the left. The word.
Really?
Yeah, to refer to like any community. But it's kind of a lot of times in like a kind of a passive aggressive way. But not always. Not always in a passive aggressive way.
So it's in a neutral way.
Yeah, I think that's why. It's
they're
meant
trying
to be like a neutral term.
Yeah, a neutral term for everyone.
It's just annoying to me. That's all. I don't have any political stance on it. I don't care.
No,
it's just annoying that all of a sudden people on the left are saying folks all the time. It just annoys me. Yeah, it's a spring stretcher.
Yeah. Yeah, it stretches your springs. I haven't heard it as much, I guess, but yeah.
And of course, normal people still use the word folks.
Yeah.
But it's just when normal people say it, it feels normal.
It does feel normal because you're coming into a situation that is a normal situation, and they usually know them.
Yeah.
Like if you know the person, they come in and say, hey, folks, what's going on?
Yeah. So I think it started with Obama. He used the word folks a lot.
Okay.
But if you'll notice, like people on the left, they'll refer to white folks or black folks or queer folks. Like they always are using the word folks.
Okay. Now I see it.
I think it's a way to try and like all of these.
It's like all encompassing.
No, I think it's all of these topics where we made this weird decision to like start subdividing people into groups, which is something that like we've progressively tried to not do for the last 100 years or 50 years.
Yeah.
Since the civil rights movement. Now the left wants to put people back in boxes.
Yep.
So they, by using the word folks, it makes it seem less aggressive. So instead of saying black people, that sounds aggressive.
No, yeah.
But if you say black folks, they're trying to make it like folksy. You know,
yeah, like family oriented. Yeah, I get it. That's weird.
Dirk says, I use folks. They can't have it. Listen, I use folks. A lot of people use folks, especially people in rural areas.
Yeah, everybody says it.
That's not what I mean. There's a specific way in which it's used that you will know it when you hear it.
Yeah.
Dirk, in your daily life, you probably don't come in contact with the type of people that are using the word folks in the way that I'm talking about.
Right. And I'm okay with you using the word folks.
Yeah. So disregard. But when you hear people, now you'll pay attention and it'll annoy you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It will now for me, 100%. Because I have not paid attention. No,
but
I
now
really
that this has been brought to your attention, it will.
Thank you for ruining the word folks.
It will stretch your springs and ruin the word for you.
Yeah, it will.
So now whenever I hear it, it's just great. It's like chalk,
like,
nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. It's sticking chalk in your ear.
Yeah.
Just grinding it around.
And
Like
it's
this?
not, by the way, it's not a political thing. It's a smug thing. It's the smugness that I can't stand.
Yeah. Stop being so.
Just stop being
Smug.
so smug.
I don't like your smugness.
I like people to either be overly nice, like Mormon nice, or assholes. That's about it.
Nolan said Porky Pig is a total ass.
Dirk said that is. What did he say?
Nolan said Porky Pig is a total ass.
I didn't see that. I don't have that.
Oh, it just came up 1 minute ago.
Oh. Anyway, that's all I got for spring stretchers. Those have been stretching my springs for a while now, Jerry.
Okay, that's good. We've got a lot of what we're watching, right?
Yeah, sure do. We can't. I guess this first one I've watched. You have not seen, so we can't get into a review of it. I do have some quick news on it though, and that is Spider-Man: No Way Home, the movie that is reinventing movies.
I know, and I haven't seen it, and I feel completely.
I feel like COVID is over now because of this movie. Because Spider-Man: No Way Home, has made to date almost $1.2 billion at the box office.
Holy cow!
$1.18 billion.
$1.18 billion.
I don't know where that ranks in the all-time numbers, but it's definitely got to be in the top 5.
Yes, I would say so.
It's gotten there remarkably fast, too. That's the other thing. It's only been out now 15 days, right?
Yeah.
Something along those lines?
22nd came out?
Dirk said, I'm not Mormon nice, that's for sure. Well, that makes you something else, Dirk. No, it just came out. It's still rocking and rolling. It's going to be out for a while. This is the bellwether, man. This is what we've been waiting for. The last 2 years of COVID, when movies have got completely decimated, and everybody's worrying about, are the movies ever going to be a thing again?
Right.
Is it ever going to happen again? Should we release all the movies on HBO at the same time? This would be a resounding no.
No.
Because that movie came out in 15 days and made $1.18 billion. And yes, it's partially because it's Spider-Man. We understand.
Right. We knew it was going to be a big deal.
Yes, it's the wrap-up to a trilogy of movies. We understand that. But this is, I feel like this is almost like a protest. Like this is like we're done.
Right. We're done. We're done releasing movies on streaming platforms for you to watch at home.
And also people saying, we're done. We're done with COVID. We're
Absolutely.
done. We're ready to go back.
Like, we're going to go to the movies and watch a show like we wanted to do before. This is what I've wanted to do the entire time. This is what I love to do, me personally. I love going to the movies and watching a show. I love taking my boys to go watch movies. Like, we have a great time. It is something I absolutely love. And don't take it away from me. Don't take it away from me.
Yeah. I mean, and this also, we're done now with the conversation of, should we release, like you said, streaming and movies at the same time? I don't see a studio wanting to do that after this.
No. Why would you?
Not for IP of that caliber, anyway.
I guarantee you they've seen the drop in money that is detrimental to their companies.
Absolutely. For a big thing.
Yeah.
Now, Other people have been saying the opposite. They've been saying, "Oh, this means
I'm sure
only
small market stuff might have gained."
Yeah, they said this is only going to reinforce Hollywood to only make superhero movies, and that might be true.
Maybe,
or they just made a really good movie. And that's what they did. They made a really good movie that everybody wanted to see. They didn't release it on streaming. They didn't put it on Disney Plus. They made you go to the movie theaters. Everybody's sick and tired of hearing about COVID because
and you
it's a
went
cold,
to the movie theater
because it's a cold, Jerry. So everybody's sick of hearing about it. We're done with it, and we're going to spend $1.2 billion, and we're going to go see Spider-Man. And fuck you.
Yes,
that's what this is.
100%.
This is a protest.
100%.
This is a massive corporation
Preach.
making a massive IP movie, and it being representing the people as a protest.
Well, I love that.
And we're just going to hand over our money to a massive company in protest. But still, anyway, they did a great job with this movie. I want to tell you, you're going to see it tomorrow. We're going to talk about it next week. You're going to love it. Anybody who goes and sees it is going to love it. It is a fun movie.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
It's so much fun.
It's been like hurting me personally, like in my soul, to not go see this movie.
The theater, I'm telling you, was raucous.
Really?
Yelling.
So that's
laughing.
why I saw you had a conversation with Nolan talking about like the theater erupting over this movie.
Yeah. They got some big moments that are pretty fun.
Oh my god!
It's a fun movie, man. It's a great movie. They did a great job.
So would you say, and I asked you this in a text message, out of all of the Spider-Man movies, or maybe even superhero movies, is this one of your favorites of all time?
It's a hard question to answer. So if you're talking just Spider-Man, it's definitely one of up there on the Spider-Man one.
Is it your favorite?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is my favorite. I'd have to go back and watch some of the older ones to make that statement for sure.
Okay.
So don't hold me to it. Spider-Man 2 is pretty good. But it's a really good movie. And it's good on a lot of different fronts. There are some minor things that annoyed me about it. I will admit that. But for the most part, it's really good. It's probably the best Spider-Man movie that there has been made. Part of that, though, is because it's a finale to a trilogy.
Right.
So it's wrapping up a lot of things, and it's bringing a lot of
nostalgia,
nostalgia
tying a lot of loose ends in.
So that's great. I mean, on the Marvel list, does it overtake Infinity War Endgame? No, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
So don't get into that territory. We're not in that territory. We're
Okay.
It's a really good, like single title superhero Marvel movie.
I'm not going to put Spider-Man in Infinity War or Endgame territory at all.
Not super comparable. Although they went for it,
but they
in moments like that.
I felt like that's what they were leading up to. It's like they were leading up to a moment like that.
Yeah, they went for it in certain aspects. There's a lot of heart to it, and there's a lot of you'll shed a tear, too.
Okay.
But there's also a lot of fun and a lot of laughs and a lot of great action. It's a fun time at the movies.
That sounds wonderful.
You know how kind of in Homecoming, right? It's a real lighthearted, fun movie.
Yes.
But then they got that real grim part with Michael Keaton and him in the car.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did a good job of treading that line. Not necessarily with the dread of that scene, but with like the emotionality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that you?
Yeah, it's on my computer.
Why are you dinging at me?
It's my computer. It's because my phone is connected to my computer.
Nolan said, I'd say this or Spider-Verse. Spider-Man 2 is probably number 3. I forgot about Into the Spider-Verse. That is a real good movie.
Well, that needs to end.
How come that makes a ding noise
I don't know.
in my headphones?
It never has before.
So Jerry's going to see it tomorrow. We can't get too deep. We're not going to spoil it. We're not going to talk about it anymore, other than it is lighting the world on fire. This is the first movie in a long time, in
Yes.
3 years, that has made this kind of money. So I think it's a statement piece, this movie.
A statement piece.
Yeah, it's a statement on where we are at in the world right now.
Okay.
I think this was in a very, very important movie. This is like a turning of the tide.
No kidding.
Of COVID and of movies and of a rebuke of everything that the people have been saying. This is where we're moving to. We're going to a whole new world. And this is like a standing in the way. This is John Dutton saying, I am the wall that progress smashes into. Did you see that scene? You
No,
don't watch
I
Yellowstone.
don't watch Yellowstone.
Yellowstone new season. There's a great scene where he spoilers. John Dutton is going to run for governor, and he gets and his whole thing is like he doesn't want all the people moving to Montana and building houses and resorts and liberals and all this and stuff.
Yeah.
And he gets to the press conference and he says, "I make no mistake," and he's running as a Democrat. "Make no mistake, I am not progress. I am the brick wall that progress smashes against." It's a great scene.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds great.
This is that movie. This is standing there and being like, "No, we reject the New World Order."
The way you're like telling me this is
there's no
amazing.
political. This has nothing to do with the movie. I'm talking about the
No, I
money
know,
that it's
but
making.
it's just it's the way you're like promoting it. It's amazing. Like I'm so into this. Like I love the new aspect of movies from the way you're describing it.
I think that's what it is.
Well, I hope so. I hope that is the way that most.
Now, does that mean that movies going forward are only going to be giant set pieces for huge IP? Maybe, but listen, that's what we all want.
This is what we want.
Let's not act like that's not what
I
we
agree.
want.
We do. Does anybody like wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I just really want a cool indie film that I've never heard of before?
I used to when I was in college. Dirk can tell you. I used to be a real snob.
Some people might be still. Some people
A lot
might
of people
want
are.
the indie film. I just don't feel like that is what the general public
Just
that is
find-
throwing money out to these movies
Find
is
a place
wanting.
for that to work then. You know what I mean? Find a place for that.
It still works.
It works better with streaming.
It works with streaming. It still works with the theater. Movies haven't changed.
And then Nolan said, Jerry, Tom Holland turns into a ladybug. Then Aunt May swats him with a newspaper. Feels terrible. That's
boy.
the emotion that I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's bad. That's a hard emotion.
Listen, man, you're going to love this movie. I'm so excited. I might go to it with you. We'll see.
Yeah, come with. I plan on going relatively early.
What else have we been watching, Jerry? We both,
Oh, boy.
a long time ago now, but we both finally, I caught up and saw Ghostbusters. So do you want to cover Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of forgot about that. Hang on.
What are you doing?
No, yeah, just running over there.
Okay. Grab me one too. Ghostbusters, yeah. So Jerry saw this, like, I think opening weekend or really soon after it came out, I think. Unfortunately, I just didn't get a chance. It took me about a month to see it. I did finally go see it in theaters in Morris, which I've been visiting Morris a lot. And it's still not great, but I feel like they're doing a little better these days.
I don't believe
And
you.
it's like $4. It's $4.
I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
driving to Juliet.
Yeah, I agree. But so I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. I had heard great things. I was really excited. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. We all know this.
Yeah.
I'll give you my initial reaction on this movie. We've talked about it, obviously, before this.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. It's not, and we've talked about it, it's not anything like the first two Ghostbusters movies, really.
No.
It is a Stranger Things kids adventure style Ghostbusters movie. And I actually appreciated that it was that.
Yes.
And it didn't try to be like the original, because I don't think that you can ever recreate that special sauce.
I agree with you. I don't think you can recreate that. And I'm glad they went the route they did, to be honest. I'm glad they looked at it as nostalgia. But the weird part about it is that so many people in the movie forgot that Ghost
Okay.
existed.
So when I say I love the movie and it was a fun time, I absolutely mean that. But I definitely had a lot of problems with the movie if you dig below the surface.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. Nobody seems to know anything about the Ghostbusters or what happened in the 80s.
Like even the parents,
They
the
seem to-
mom in the movie, her dad was a Ghostbuster, and she
Her kids
didn't
don't even know
know
their
that?
grandfather's name. That doesn't make any sense.
no. I mean,
And
I know,
YouTube
he was
exists. You know what I mean?
He was like a recluse, right? Like, and he left and left his family and all this kind of stuff. But she would have had the knowledge of what he had done.
They just make it seem like 1984 is like 1945.
Correct.
I mean, it's not that long ago, folks.
Yeah.
These kids are like, oh my God, 1984. I mean, I wasn't born in 2005, whatever they're born at. And you're like, yeah, it's not that much before. It was in the time of television and internet, and you can look it up on YouTube, and everybody would.
Right.
Ghosts are real in this universe.
Yeah, and they should have all known that.
Big thing, right?
Yeah, everybody in the world would have known something about that, and everybody in the world would have told their kids about it.
Yeah. So
it is really strange.
That is an odd point. There's other, and these are spoilers, guys, so maybe we're a little late for that. There are other things that definitely annoyed me, like the immediacy to which children understand how this equipment works and works safely. And then,
well, she's a genius, childhood.
There's no excuse. I think in Ghostbusters 2, they mentioned that the proton packs are 80 pounds.
Okay.
And they're always lugging these things around like as grown men.
Yeah, but they carried them, no problem.
Yeah, but you're giving it
Little
to a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of suspension of disbelief, but take that all aside.
And there's a lot of packs, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he must have made a bunch more in his basement.
Well that's real.
I think he did.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's the only explanation, is that he made a bunch more packs in his, like, little hidden basement.
Other than that, I loved and enjoyed the story. I really liked the stuff with the how the energy was coming up, and he had the trap set to automatically shoot.
Absolutely. That
was really cool.
The whole house trap thing is amazing, and having them all come back, like the very first scene of him running through the cornfield, and everything's chasing him and gonna set up the trap, and it doesn't work, and then it does at the end. Like, spoilers, yes, is amazing. I think that's wonderful, and I loved the ending scene of it all coming back.
Oh yeah, the last 20 minutes are great.
I feel like the movie is a recreation of the first one in a different way.
For sure. I mean,
right?
You say that, but I don't feel that way as much as you. In so much as, yes, the threat is the same, but they explain that. They explain why. There's a timeline. This happens every so often, and
yeah, you're right.
They explain all that, and that's what he was doing there. He was trying to stop it from happening again the way it happened the first time.
Right, and it was already set up.
So
he had it set up.
I think it was different enough in that sense. They really nailed the feeling of adventure. But I want to say the best part about this movie was like the cinematography, the set pieces, and
amazing.
the acting. I mean, the little girl,
she's so good.
She's so good, and Finn Wolfhard, whatever. He's good.
Yeah,
the mom,
guy from
I really
Stranger
like the
Things.
mom. Paul Rudd, I was really surprised. He had a very minimal role. I didn't think he was particularly enthralling as a character.
I mean, his role in general wasn't necessarily minimal. It was just like the character didn't matter.
He was the Rick Moranis of this movie, and
he was.
Yeah, he just didn't do it as good, and he wasn't particularly likable or funny. I mean, he was fine.
He was just very neutral.
Yeah, he was
throughout the whole
not
thing.
a big part of this movie.
Yeah, you're right. Which was kind of a letdown, because I thought he'd have a bigger stance, in the movie. But
overall, I mean, if you can
I
leave
enjoyed
behind
it.
some of the problems, like them driving around town, shooting a proton pack, and destroying half the town. I mean, all these ridiculous things, or being able to drive an RC car around like that. I mean, that makes
faster than a car.
None of that makes sense. None of it makes sense, but it's fine.
But it's Ghostbusters. It's a Ghostbusters movie. Like, you have to.
There's not particularly even a lot of ghosts in it.
No, you just need to suspend
That's
belief.
a little interesting. This was it didn't look like an expensive movie. That's one thing I noticed. I think I looked it up, and the budget was like $80 million, which for a franchise movie like that is nothing.
It's pretty small.
And smart, because they're going to really make some money off of it.
Yeah, I agree. They will make a ton.
And they're definitely setting it up for a whole host of sequels.
There better be.
Well,
if they don't do it.
They have to. They set it up. I mean, in the ending scenes.
Yeah, it's set up. Doesn't mean they're going to do it.
I think it did well.
I hope.
I think it did very well. I'm going to look up what it made.
It had to make over $80 million. I can guarantee you that.
For sure. I mean, I think it might have even opened at 55 or something like that. 175 million, maybe. 178 worldwide.
Okay.
Domestically, 121. That's very respectable.
Yeah.
If it really did have an $80 million budget, which I don't know, but
even at $100 million budget, I mean, they're making
well,
what,
that doesn't
60, 50
that doesn't
million?
figure because that doesn't figure in marketing or any of that.
There wasn't a ton of marketing.
No, but
Marketing nowadays is basically just YouTube.
At 177 million worldwide, it probably didn't make a huge profit, but they're selling merchandise, they're selling toys, they're selling licensing, they're selling posters. Kids are into it. Everybody's liking it. My kids saw it. I took Sky and Cash.
Yeah, and I took Grady and Grady.
They loved it. It was a little scary on the scary side.
There's some jump scares in there, like that'll scare you.
Yeah. There's some freaky parts too.
Yeah.
When she becomes the Keymaster.
Yes. There are some parts that are,
I think, scarier than the original movies, frankly.
Well, that's what I tried to tell you in the text message. I was like, I don't know, some parts were kind of scary.
Yeah.
For the boys, and like Grant closed his eyes during a couple parts because he was uncomfortable.
Really fun.
But overall, yeah, very fun, very enjoyable, and I like it a lot.
Not on the level of Spider-Man, I'll tell you that, but very good.
I'm sure it's not.
So that's two of what I got. You want me to keep going, or are you going to?
Yeah, go again.
Well, one we can't talk about because Jerry hasn't gotten as far as me, but that's fine. The Witcher came back.
Yes, The Witcher season 2,
Netflix. And we have talked about it at length. Me and Jerry were such huge fans of the first season.
Yeah.
I had been looking forward to this probably more than any other show.
As have I.
And I will give you my thoughts on season 1. It just didn't. We can't talk about it too much. You've only got 2 episodes down, right?
Yeah, season 2, you mean?
Yeah, season 2. There's 8 episodes. I watched all of them. You got 2 down. Wow, loved it. Better than season 1.
I can tell. I can tell by the pacing of the first 2 episodes that I've seen that, I mean, unless they made some drastic changes coming to the rest of the season, this one was going to do better. Like, well, it was going to be better. It was going to be more,
more story.
It just
more linear. So really moving forward.
There's no flashing back and forth, right?
Really moving forward. There is some, but
yeah, I'm sure there's some.
They're really advancing the story, and they're giving you a whole lot more of the universe of The Witcher.
Love that.
And they don't give you a lot of that in the first.
Are they giving more of The Witcher to do?
As far as
like
action set pieces?
Yes.
And stuff? Oh yeah, for sure. The budget feels like it quadrupled.
It had to have.
Because the first season, it was great, but parts of it felt a little like, okay, they cut the budget down on this piece or that piece. You see the dragon.
Yep.
No. This is big budget stuff happening here. Okay. This is Class A, big time stuff. Henry Cavill continues to be doing the most remarkable work of his or maybe anyone's career here because he's so good at this role,
and he's so obsessed with it. He's so obsessed with it, even in his like personal life. Like he loves this character. He loves the story, the brand, like everything about it. He's dedicated his life to this character, and it's amazing.
Season 1, I fell in love with as a show. Season 2, this is entering the pantheon of me, where I become obsessed with it, like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or Doctor Who. Like I become obsessed. Now I want to read the books. I'm going to replay the games. I'm watching the cartoon movie. I'm watching all the behind the scenes stuff. Like this is, I'm in that world.
Divorce your wife. Gonna like marry a man.
Why is marrying a man?
That it's a Witcher.
I love it, man. It's so good. And it's just going to get better, and they're just setting it up for even. This isn't even going to. I think Henry Cavill's like already signed for like 8 seasons.
I think
7.
he is.
I think 7. He isn't signed, but he's like, we're good. He's like, I see a pathway forward for 7 seasons minimum.
Holy smokes, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they're only 8 episodes. It goes by so fast.
Well, right. I mean, I've only done 2. I only have 6 left. That's not very many.
Nolan says all 8 episodes of season 2 so freaking good. More Witcher powers. I loved all the Witcher 3 spells. Way more magic.
Yeah, the powers. That's what I want to see. I want to see more power.
You get more Witchers.
More Witchers. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a whole universe in this season.
Oh, man. I need it.
And this
is the one thing I've been wanting to watch, but I haven't been able to because of children.
I don't know how.
There's so many children around.
Yeah. You can't watch it around kids.
No, you can't.
And I don't know how many people get far this deep in the episodes that aren't like fans of this kind of stuff. But if you are listening and you're not a fan of this fantasy type genre stuff, I know a lot of people that really like The Witcher that aren't into that at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good.
No, it's just a great show.
Yeah.
I don't care about sci-fi or whatnot. It's just a great show.
All right. Where are we at on time?
Hour 45.
Okay. Because I got 2 more.
I've got one.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sing 2.
Oh, Sing 2.
Went to that on Christmas Day. We didn't have much going on. Like I said, my sister and her family were at my house.
And you just chose that over Spider-Man.
They did. The women did, yeah, for the kids. Chose that.
Because my kids loved Spider-Man. Jet sat through the whole movie. He's like, oh.
Really?
Jet is yes.
Graham doesn't pay attention to those type of movies very well.
He will that one.
Maybe he'll go. I didn't plan on taking him tomorrow.
Oh, I would take him, yeah. For sure.
He's got strep throat, so.
Oh,
he can stay home.
Then. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sing 2.
So Sing 2, we did go to that with the family. I took a Snapchat of my sister because she fell asleep in the beginning of the movie, which was hilarious. But honestly, I liked it way better than the first movie.
And I love the first Sing.
I love Sing. Mr. Seedentop, you listen to the podcast. You also enjoy Sing. Your girls have enjoyed Sing. I think Sing 2 is better. I think it's better. And it was so fun. The music is amazing. The songs are amazing. Like the vocals, the story, just so good. Every part of it is so good. It's like it's Buster Moon, the koala guy,
Matthew
McConaughey, like chasing a big, like Broadway style musical, right? Like he's doing the thing in the small town music house that he has, like theater that he has. They've been doing that very successfully. A big budget critic comes to the show, and he thinks like this is the big break. She comes, it's not the big break. She leaves, basically tells him like, stop. Like, you're doing great for a small town. You can't make it in the big leagues. And then he just basically ignores her and takes a trip to, it's like L.A., basically, like taking a trip to L.A., and he like cons his way into an audition. And it's after that, like he has to do the job. And he lied throughout the audition and has to try to fix it from there on out. And it's just fun. Like everything is really fun. It's a little more intense than the first Sing, which is weird to say.
Yeah, you can tell from the trailers. Yeah.
It is a little more intense. Super fun. I love anything that has music and singing. This one does big time, and it's a good family show.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see it pretty quickly. So
you
maybe
should
tomorrow even. I think we have time for one more. Now there's 2 more shows. I mean, Book of Boba Fett started.
Book of Boba started last night. I thought there was like a bunch of for some reason was thinking Disney like dropped all of the episodes. I went to watch it last night relatively late, and there was only the one.
And
watch the one.
35-minute, or it was pretty short.
Yeah, it was like 35, I think.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to get into that because the other one was going to take more time. But since
I
you
agree.
brought it up, we should. We will talk about Book of Boba Fett a lot more. I will just say I loved the first episode. It's amazing. It gives you the backstory that you always wanted.
You get so much information about what has happened after he was kicked into a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, and it sets the tone. It sets what I think is going to be the tone for the show, which is different than The Mandalorian. It's similar in its composition, but I think the tone is going to be a lot different.
Looks the same, feels the same, tone is different.
Tone different in a good way.
Yeah.
and also a more classic Star Wars way.
I completely agree.
I was a little off put by the fact that in the flashback scenes they wouldn't recast though Boba Fett. They're playing him with he's pretty old.
Yeah, he is pretty old.
And
you're
he's
right.
not like in shape, right? You don't look at him and be like, that's supposed to be a young Boba
you're
Fett.
right. You're right. I never thought about that, but you're right. Like he should have been a lot younger.
Yeah. Which is fine, but there was just one pet peeve. Like he's kind of rotund.
I mean,
he's not,
they could have cut his face out and put it on a different body.
I think they should have done that
easily.
Just get some like a little more.
I mean, they did it with Mark Hamill at the end of Mandalorian.
Yeah, that was like in one thing not moving. Like he acted.
I understand, but I'm saying like when he's laying in the sand or crawling out of the pit or like all of those things like laying around, you could have done that.
Well, I loved seeing the background story, and it was really fun to watch. But I also loved the stuff. I wish we would have got a little more in the present because I like the direction they're going with it, and I think they're going to be able to tell some really interesting stories.
I agree. Last one.
We will talk about Book of Boba Fett so much more as it goes along.
The first episode. We've got a lot more
we
to go.
We just are covering like 3 weeks worth of missed stuff. So one big one was Wheel of Time. We've been watching. Nolan just mentioned it.
The Wheel.
We've been going back and forth talking with him a lot. He's more critical of this show because he's a huge fan of the books. I very much enjoyed this show. I have been recommending it to everybody I see.
I'm telling you right now, this is one of the best shows I've seen since The Witcher started. I love it.
I really enjoy it too. I mean, I'm able to recognize some of the problems, but I don't care.
No,
it's fine.
I'm just letting the story play out in front of me. Like I had no critique going into this. I know nothing about it.
And I actually thought it got better as it went along.
Absolutely.
I thought the first couple were a little rocky, but
no, yes. The first couple, it was like, okay, like how are you setting up the story? What's going on? Like they set it up first as like
I said at the beginning, it felt a little like a YA thing.
It did,
but they bring it more mature.
But it was also like, I don't know. It was like keeping what's the Aes Sedai lady? Milena? No, it's not Milena. It starts with an M. Moraine. It was like keeping her at an arm's distance. Like Moraine's like this figure that nobody can talk to and can't do anything with. And then all of a sudden, the very next episode, she's like, "Please come with me." Like they played the character different between 2 different episodes. Like the very first episode, she felt different than she did in the second episode. And then from the second episode on, it carried the rest of the story where she was the same person. But between the first 2, it felt very weird to me. But like you said, every episode got better and better and better. And I love where the story's going. I'm going to follow this forever.
Now, they're throwing a lot at you.
So much.
A lot of different storylines.
So much story.
A lot of content. And I think they're maybe trying to see what sticks. Because even when they went to the Marines Protectors, I can't remember his name, his like home thing, they bring in like this whole nother storyline. You're like, wait a minute, we got a lot of storylines going on here. Let's let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. But there is a lot to take in. I didn't find it that hard to do, though.
No.
The way they present
not at all
the story and the way they present all of the information to you is in such a gradual way
yes, a gradual progression. You're able to go with it.
Yeah, and it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very nice looking show.
Amazon spent money on this.
I would say. Dylan says, as a book fan, the eye of the world is not anything like the books. There are certain things that won't make sense later, but I freaking love the introduction of the I don't know how to say that in particular.
The
AIEL, AIEL.
Trying to find it. I don't see that comment.
And Nolan, you have to forgive me. I don't really know. Who are those people? Was that the flashback of the guy's mom?
Oh, the eye
in the snow.
The Aes Sedai.
The pregnant warrior. Okay, yes, yeah, the pregnant warrior. the Dragon Reborn's mom.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Those are the people. They don't spend a lot of time there though, so you don't really know what
they
that's all
don't. But
about.
it's the end of the season.
Right. So I don't know how much more of that we're going to get because that was kind of a flashback.
Well, I think they'll give you more, they got to give you more in season 2.
Yeah. You know, obviously there's some. I had some problems because there's some acting stuff here and there. There's some story stuff here and there. There's some things like that. But overall, I mean, it's not. To me, it's not on the level of The Witcher or even close. But I very much enjoyed it.
It's not on the level of production and acting of The Witcher. But I do love this story. I think the story has drawn me in so much.
I agree.
And I think it would for Amy. I told Amy, like, you need to watch this. She hasn't yet. But I told her, I was like, we need to go through this and watch this together because I really feel like she would love this because it is at a toned down level of a YA type show.
At the beginning, but it gets pretty violent and
Yeah,
gory.
it does. It amps up throughout the show.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It amps up throughout the show, but I feel like at the level of like entry, you could. I do. I feel like you could come in as.
There's full frontal nudity.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a bathhouse scene.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Must not have been anything substantial.
Well, I mean, there is.
Oh well,
plenty of full frontal.
I don't know.
nudity.
I just I really enjoyed this show. I thought it was really, like, from front to back, it was completely enjoyable. There wasn't a lot for me to say that was bad. Besides,
my least favorite part, unfortunately, is the kid, like the leads. Like all of them, they're my least favorite part. Like I want everything else.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
Those, like, the 4 kids.
The 5 of them. Yeah.
Is there 5? Yeah, there's 5 of them. I don't feel like Moraine or any of the sisters are bad, or the people that like the protectors.
I'm not even talking about
the
their
protectors
acting
are really
quality.
good.
I'm saying they're the least interesting part of the story to me. Like,
As of right now, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They don't offer much in the way of story between any of those people.
little story and a lot of whininess, but
A lot of whining.
I'm enjoying the entryway into the universe, and I'm excited about it.
I agree.
I think they had a lot of setting up to do.
So much setup. That's what this season is.
Yeah, so season
the whole
2,
season.
when they jump out of the gate, I think it's going to be a lot more dynamic.
And honestly, that's the way I feel about The Witcher. I mean, The Witcher was so much setup in the
So
beginning.
much, yeah.
In order for season 2 to even happen.
And season 2 really takes that setup and says, okay, everybody understands what we're doing here, and everybody's like, yeah.
Here we go.
Let's get fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. So.
Okay, and I think that's what they're going to do with season 2 of The Wheel of Time. But I do believe that people should take the time to watch it because it's a wonderful show.
I agree. Star Trek is back too. I want to check that out. I haven't started that.
Yeah.
That's all we got for this week,
Yeah.
I think. Next week, episode 150. Hopefully next week, we got a bunch of stuff planned for that.
Cakes and pies.
Cakes,
and
pies, trivia, guests, all kinds of fun things happening there. New season, new year, new outlook, new life.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be releasing some of our C2E2 content on YouTube, so watch for that.
Yeah, check out our YouTube.
We're glad to be back.
Absolutely. New year, new Snarf.
For Snarf Talk this week, I've been Chris.
I am Jerry.
See ya.